Hello everybody, welcome to the Mark 6 Fiesta Rallycross build. Today we started off with the suspension components and brakes. As you can see here, I began disassembling the shocks and getting the brake calipers off, ready for some cleaning. For some context for those that don't already know, we're planning on racing this in the 2 litre super modified class. Engine wise, we're looking at a turbo Z-Tech. At the moment, it might only make about 250, but it'll be plenty to get us started off with for the season. And then at the end of the first season, we'll be taking the engine out, forging it, and hopefully it should be nearer the 350 to 400 brake mark. And so you can see here, we've just got the caliper off and getting rid of some of the bits that should be going into the cleaning machine shortly. And yeah, we've got some AP brakes, which I believe they came off a Formula 4 car, which is quite impressive. And you can see here just getting the head of it off and getting the spring off there too. And so now we'll move over to the cleaning of the parts. As you can see here, it started off with the springs, and they were very, very greasy, so good clean out there was pretty necessary. And so then we're using the bearing cover. That again, very, very greasy, but after all this we used the brake cleaner and a rag, and that got the rest of the oil that was there off of it. And so as you can see here now, we've moved on to the brake calipers. Mainly just needed a good clean with some brake cleaner or whatever, and you can see they've tied up quite nicely. To be fair, the brackets all shiny again, and yeah, looking good. So there'll be an after shot of them up in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. So looking good, looking better than they did before. And now we'll move on to the brake discs. We used the DA machine to get off the surface rust and just got into those little nooks and crannies, looking way better than we did before. Kind of looked brand new after this. So again, on the screen you'll see in a minute some after shots of the shocks. Decided to paint the actual springs black because they had some overspray from the car when it was painted, so they're now looking nice and new in black. And so yeah, we now move on to the reassembling of the shocks. You can see here it's quite an easy process, to be fair. Most of it is just putting all of it onto the actual shock and then using the top bolt at the top, and then that's all done. And so now we move on to actually fitting it onto the car. Of course, good old rain had to come out as soon as we walked outside, but that didn't stop us. So we can see there Dad just putting on the actual shock onto the wishbone and fitting it through the top. Now, as you can see, just tightening up the bolts through the top of the strut and just making sure they're all tight. You can see here now, just lowered the car down. But if you enjoyed this, look forward to seeing the next one, and thank you for watching.